Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the ESL Pro Tour Weekly Cup number 24 for Europe. I'm Nathanias, and in the top right, we have the Red Protoss player kicking off our next match here. He is DNS. He is not a domain name server, and you cannot find him by typing 8888 or 8844. His opponent in the bottom left, the yellow Protoss player representing E-Punks. He is PappiJoe. It just makes me want to say, hey, Pappy. And of course, DNS is from Cascade. I think that's what CSC is. They have an exclamation point in their clan tag now, so I don't know. His Cos was a part of Cascade. So I think that that's what it is. Honestly, man, some of these clan tags get really similar to each other. I always had trouble on NA because there's like Alpha X Pro, Alpha X Elite, Alpha X Staff, and I'm like, wait, I thought this was 5 different clans, but they're all the same clan, and I got nothing, man. I've absolutely got nothing to add to that, you know? It's just one of those things where... No, actually, that's it. That's all I got. That's all I got. So it's Protoss versus Protoss, which, as you all know, is Protoss players' least favorite matchup other than playing against Terrans in 2011 named Polt and Puma. It's a one-base Marine Tank Banshee joke for ya. So DNS... It's got the pylon proxy. Now, I mean, a lot of Protoss players hide the second pylon, even if they're not proxying you, because they don't want you to think that you're safe. So it's kind of like, it's like if you went out to work and left your door open, not because you wanted it to be robbed, but because you wanted your neighbors to think you were home and you were just moving around a lot, right? And that's what your door's open because you're bringing stuff in, you're bringing stuff out, right? Something like that. Now, obviously, if they stare and stand there all day, they will notice you're not home. Maybe you don't have a 2-car garage or something like that, and they can actually see that your car isn't home, and they're like, okay, well, this guy's just an imbecile. But hey, that's how PvP works, you know? It's not the PvP's not an exact science. And that's okay. Oh, he tried to block his opponent's ramp. PappiJoe. He's not going to be able to. He's going to get poked back. He put a pylon on the low ground, but the Stukers do kill it. So DNS feeling fine here. I mean, 2 adepts can be devastating versus a stalker opening, but he does have a probe ready to place a shield battery if necessary. And also, I mean, PappiJoe, he might have been concerned with what he saw. Only 1 pylon? Am I being proxied? Do I need a shield battery early? Do I need to build stalkers in my main base? He didn't end up doing any of those things, but yeah, no, I guess he didn't really think much about it, or he just assumed that he was safe, which is also fine. Since chat is still on the subject of processed meats, I will never eat spam until the day I die, and not even after that. In fact, I'll even put it in my will that my dead body can't be force-fed spam. This way, none of you sick are able to get revenge on me once I'm gone. Oh, more prism. You do not want to lose this early on. Thank goodness it wasn't a blink opening. Jeez Louise. But 4 stalkers is actually a lot. Okay, PappiJoe's going to force field 1, so he pinches 1 off, but he's got to be careful. He could easily lose everything here. Getting the extra couple stalkers is nice, but his units were already a little bit softened up. So now it's 3v3, except his stalkers do have more health and shields. And with this rotation, yeah, that's scary. See, that could get ugly real quick. You know, this is how you know both of these players are really good, because on ladder, those are the types of situations that you can actually lose a game really fast on. This Prism's going to try and bring 1 adept. That will not do jack as there is a shield battery in the mineral line of the main. Not the natural, but there's a bunch of sentries here. It's actually a lot of sentries to build. Is his plan to try and force field the ramp? Man, I haven't seen that since 1999. A ramp force field? What is this? WCS America Season 1? Just kidding. No one in America is that good. WCS Korea Season 1. Duh. So he's got some adepts of his own, and he's not bringing the sentries, which I do find odd. He just wants to have a bunch of force fields or hallucinations ready. Is he gonna make it seem like he was pocketing void rays and just warp and just like hallucinate a bunch of void rays and do something crazy? I'm down for that, honestly. I want to see that. There you go. Bring him in. Bring in the adepts. Hallucinated Phoenix Scout shows up. Not much to see. And DNS. He has the adepts inside the base. He hasn't dropped them yet, but now they are going to reach the mineral line. There you go. Boom, boom. And adepts are very difficult to deal with probes. He's going to shade to the natural. But then he says, you know what? I'm going to just back it up. I think he wants to shade to the prism. He wants to get the shade over here so he can save him, but he's not able to make it. He's just not able to make it. Oh, keep the prism alive, though. Wait, both players are going for resonating glaives? Nani? See, that's crazy. Is this going to be adepts versus adepts? Oh my god, it's like when Cell stole the Kamehameha. Okay, well, let's see it, I guess. Jeez, well, this prism is still here, though, and most of the units are gone now. That's not good. So PappiJoe's probe line is about to get riggedy wrecked, son. You know what? I would just sit there and keep fighting. Yeah. Kill those sentries that he's warping in while you're at it. Hell yeah, brother. Hey, Kona. But now you've got to defend. Now you have to defend. He does have a shield battery. He has enough energy for battery overcharge. And that's PvP now. It's going to become, I think, a little bit more harass focused as time passes. It might not be possible for him to break this open without force fielding his units off of the shield battery range, but that will clearly not be possible since there are no sentries, in case anybody here is blind. Okay, never mind. There's 2 sentries somehow that came out of nowhere. I didn't see these guys. Oh, it's because they were at full energy, so their energy bars didn't appear, and I'm blind. Well, that makes sense. There's not a lot of pylons here. He's adding a few, but he's bringing the Immortals over to the main base, trying to pick off maybe a probe or 2, pound away at a pylon. And PappiJoe just gives up because he lost all of his workers back at home. GG. DNS takes game number 1. And we're going to get into the lobby for game 2 as soon as we can. All right, we're in, boys. On the bottom right, leading the series 1-0, we have the DNS from Cascade. And his opponent in the top left, we have PappiJoe. Yeah, we're making a lot of DBZ references today. You know, I'm just trying to have a little bit of fun with it. We're in the earlier rounds. And it's not a Terran matchup. I think it's fair for me to say that if I'm casting a game and there's no Terran in it, I'm not going to try and waste both of our time pretending to do analysis, because even though I obviously know a lot about StarCraft, most people don't really care what I have to say if it's not about a Terran. So why should I try to be something that I'm not? We'll have a little fun. We'll follow the action, make a few jokes, get down tonight. Get down tonight. And it keeps the cast fun, keeps the cast fresh. Obviously, we've got a lot of StarCraft to get through today. I'm happy to be here covering it, bringing it to you. Big shout out to my own personal sponsor as well, Corsair. If you need a dope-ass keyboard, they got the best. Check them. ! Corsair in the chat. As well, you could always go to my Twitch, by the way, for watching this on the VODs. And I've been doing a pretty good job of uploading all of the broadcasted matches up to the YouTube channel recently. So if you guys have been missing out on any of that, youtube.com/Nathanias. Big shout out to the YouTube peeps. Actually, you guys have all been super friendly and kind And I really do appreciate that a lot. With 1,000 upload, it's become really easy. Usually when I'm done with the cast for the day, I upload all the matches the same day. And then I just schedule them to release 2 a day for the rest of the week. Because people get upset when you post 8 videos to your YouTube channel in one day. People get upset, in case anybody was wondering. If you're watching this and you're like, oh, I don't want to wait till tomorrow for the next game, you can always just go to the Twitch VODs. They're not paywalled. Anybody can look at them. Anybody can look at them. Twitch doesn't really care about their VODs, so that's why I don't put an effort into it either. Probe tries to come in and scout, but there's not really anything to see. Both players are proxying each other. We're just about one giant screen away. There you go. I made it fit. I made both proxies fit into one screen, ladies and gentlemen. Proxy Stargate versus Proxy Robo. The year was 2020, and they thought it couldn't get crazier. There you go. This is the widest viewing angle you can get in this game. Faux show. Enjoy it. Enjoy it. No other caster will put this much effort in for you to be able to see 2 proxies on the same screen. None of them. That's right, damn it. So DNS sending his adepts across the map. He wants to do a little poke. A little Pokemon, you could say. So his proxy immortal's almost out. He doesn't know about the Stargate. He does know about the Robo. But he doesn't care. He's like, I'm going to send the Oracle in. 2 adepts. 2 adepts this time. Slide to the left. So with 4 stalkers here, he kind of needs to get it done before the adepts actually get their damage in. Oh, kills the building stasis trap. And that was actually really nice. He did kill a good amount of PappiJoe's probes. It's 18 to 24 now, which means that PappiJoe really needs to do something big with this setup. The Immortal's looking for the proxy Stargate. He cannot find it. He's being forced to keep his units running around because of those adepts. He's not actually mining fully on his gas anymore because he just needs more probes. And PappiJoe is going to be able to depower the Stargate. He recognizes it's kind of a lost cause here. Man, the reverse bubulas, as Tasteless would call them. It is fun to watch units go through them. One of my cheese builds where I like fly barracks over for Cyclone Vision. On this map, it's really strong because I just rally it through the speed zones and then the barracks goes all the way up here. It affects flying buildings for Terran. Fun fact, if you get into a base trade. So these stalkers tried to grab the prism as it came out. They weren't able to kill the prism, but it doesn't matter. They do get it eventually anyway. I was going to say it doesn't matter because PappiJoe just doesn't have enough units here. The Immortal will certainly help with things become a little bit more stabilized, but he lost everything prior to it, and now he has to rebuild the prism. So can 2 Immortals on their own turn the tides of war? No. Peace was never an option. Not in PvP. So he can't push the ramp without the prism. That much is true. He does have the prism almost out again. So that card will at least be available to him. Is he going to try and stasis trap again? That's what I'm wondering. Yes, he will. Can he deny this with just 1 stalker? No. He just freezes a single probe in time. But it does force him to micro the whole entire mineral line away, which actually delays his ability to get this attack moving. All these units are sitting still right now. Now they're starting to move again. Go through the zoomy zone. Actually, I'm going to call that the zoomy zone because my dog just keeps running around and doing zoomies all the time. He's not going to go through the zoomy zone. That's a shame. So this Oracle could depower. Does it have enough energy? I was going to say, if he could kill that pylon, that would actually be really nice. He's getting his own warp prism. He does have 2 Immortals of his own. Oh my god. Yeah, actually DNS is in a pretty good spot here. Really just needs his prism. He might have to give up this gateway. If he gets force fielded, whatever gets pinched off will most likely die. Yeah, Takini, he doesn't have enough for battery overcharge. I think these 2 stalkers are dead, but he just needs to get the prism out and then he could kind of try to micro against this. It's hard to say, honestly. There's only 1 stalker. Bring the Oracle back. Bring it back now, y'all. 2 hops this time. I would bring the Oracle home. With DNS, it's a much better Protoss player than me, so what do I know? This observer's skirting around the outside to try and see what's going on. I like that he's trying to use the immortals, trying to poke. He's got the high ground, right? He's a little bit safe. And he does have the benefit of shield batteries, which PappiJoe does not. PappiJoe does not have shield batteries here, so all the damage that he takes, he has to be a little bit more careful. Obviously, he'll still restore energy and stuff, but like you still have to be careful. He's building a defensive Phoenix too. There's the Oracle. Oh, he revelationed the Oracle. Nice play actually. But notice, like, there's just 2 sentries and 1 stalker. I actually think that there's like a weird world where he could try to just yeet the Oracle onto the sentries. Am I crazy for thinking that? I don't know. Once the Phoenix comes out, the Oracle will become pretty useless, though. It's a defensive stasis trap, I just noticed, actually, too, here. So he's maybe thinking about if he tries to shade Adepts up the ramp onto him. But that would still be suicide with the shield batteries. Like, that's still just a bad idea. And he can probably see that. What's he recalling? Oh! He lost the prism with an immortal? Oh, that's what the Phoenix were for, huh? Rutro Raggy. I mean, this is not an easy situation to be in. It's so hard to get, like, expansions in PvP. He needs to get another battery on the low ground here. Phoenix come, pick up 2 of the immortals. That's a problem. Oh, God, with the Guardian Shield as well. PappiJoe's army feeling strong, and he does relift the 1 immortal. Without a prism here to do any micro, yeah, you can't get up the ramp either. It looks like PappiJoe's going to tie this series up 1 apiece, boys. So we've got ourselves a game number 3. And coming up, welcome to the stream, Dual E Games. We're going to get into the lobby for the final map of this best of 3 in just a moment. All right, we got a tied series here, boys and girls.
It's Protoss versus Protoss, a matchup of a giant advanced alien civilization attempting to use weapons of mass destruction to take out another faction of a highly advanced alien civilization also wielding weapons of mass destruction. In the bottom left, he is DNS. And in the top right, tying things up after a grueling game 2, he is PappiJoe.
See what happens. See where things go. Take it slow. Maybe we'll get a second date. Maybe we won't. I mean, if you complain about not getting one, then you're a bigot anyway, right? So let people make their choices and don't get too hung up over them if you can manage it. It's PvP though, which means we're going to have about nothing to talk about until the Cybercore is done. So I'm just going to tell you guys, the dog's doing pretty well. Lewis, he's a big pup. He's quite a large puppy. Man, he becomes more and more annoying though every day. I love them, but like, you know what I mean. Once as they closely get to that point where they need to be fixed, you know what I'm saying? And it's just like, yeah. Love the dog, but he's reaching his angsty teenager phase. He's been listening to My Chemical Romance, and Katie and I have a hard time sleeping because he screams along with the lyrics. So that's life with a golden retriever teenager. So we've got Proxy Robo again from PappiJoe. And DNS, he went for the fake proxy. So he put the pylon out there, but like, you know, he's not actually proxying him. He's like, you know, I don't feel like I really need to do anything with that. Obviously, PappiJoe's going for another aggressive build because it worked the first time around. It just makes sense. DNS, it's a very good Protoss player. He's certainly got quite a few wrinkles on the old brain. So will he be able to realize and recognize what's happening in this match before it's too late? That is going to be the entire crux of this early game. What will this proxy be used for? Will it accomplish that goal? Or will things fall out of hand and DNS possibly gets an easy map win? This Stalker is on the hunt, but Scotty doesn't know, as they say in the business. So he pulls that one back. He's like, oh my God, you're bringing Stalkers to me. Oh, one of DNS's Stalkers kind of got blindsided a bit there, and he's not feeling good about himself. This is a kind of an awkward situation to be in. He doesn't want to kill that Stalker. He's not able to get it. 3 hit points on one of DNS's. That's big, man. Every single unit is so important in a situation like this. There's the hallucinated Phoenix guy. He's like, okay, gateway, 2 pylons, no natural. He's like, this should be a proxy. You wouldn't have just 2 pylons at this point. And ladies and gentlemen, you wouldn't. There is a 3rd pylon, and it's right here, powering the proxy robotics facility. So the prism's about to come out, and we're gonna have an immortal and 2 stalkers. Now, look at this. DNS gets 3 shield batteries, and he will have enough energy on the finished Nexus to use the shield battery overcharge if he needs to. So we will have to see. Also, the dog ate something weird. He was barfing up all morning. You know, he's just being a dog. A living trash compactor. Gets one of the stalkers. He does lose one of his own, but really the key here is the immortal. And now that one is dead, now that the stalker's dead, I mean, he has the 2nd immortal ready to go. So I wouldn't mind seeing him just pick up and shotgun the 2 immortals. I like to think of a warp prism and 2 immortals as a double barrel shotgun, you know? Bam, bam, type thing. Have you guys ever played Cabela's Big Hunts? Y'all ever gone deer hunting at an arcade? I'm telling you, if you haven't, you're missing out. Seriously. That's a big redneck culture thing, but I wouldn't want to go, I wouldn't want to live in a world without it. That's what 2 immortals and a prism feel like. Of course, we're legally required to listen to the StarCraft soundtrack and not Tim McGraw. So some force fields. There's the battery overcharge. DNS pretty much unkillable while that's active. The burst damage from the immortal is nice, but the sustained battery overcharge is very powerful. So that buys him 14 seconds. And now he just has 3 regular shield batteries. Still very useful, of course, but he might end up targeting them down. Oh yeah, look at that. He pinches off the south half of the army, tries to kill the top half. And honestly, I tell the immortals to shoot the shield batteries here, eliminate that option, as we are about 20 seconds away from another overcharge. So just kill the batteries. Don't let it be a thing you have to think about. They are all dead. And we've got 3 immortals versus 2. Oh, he shot one of his own stalkers. DNS did. That might cost him the game here. That warp prism is still juggling and struggling up in the natural. Everything is DED for DNS. I think that might be it, ladies and gentlemen. It might be time to stick a fork in this one. He's got the probes coming off the line to try and fight. And I do not think I've ever commentated a match. I don't think I've ever commentated a match of StarCraft where the probes got pulled and the Protoss player won. Outside of like weird base trades. But you don't pull probes and win games. I mean, they are terrible at fighting. They're not even good at soaking damage. They die in like 1 to 2 hits from almost everything, including other workers. So he is taking his sweet time killing this natural. I guess just focus on it, finish it off, warp in a few more units, be done with it. That's also a giant pylon in terms of supply, right? Now he needs to build more pylons in his base, DNS, or he can only warp in like 2 more units, I think, right? 2 supply each. But now he's got 4 immortals and the prism and the adepts. And he's just gonna, yeah, there you go. Kill the pylons. Now he's just straight up supply blocked, kills a gateway. So he actually has to lose units before he can build anything. He's trying to build pylons in the back of his own base. Today you learned you're a part of redneck culture. There's nothing wrong with that. Me too, man. Me too. I watched the Cabela's World Championships on Twitch like a year or 2 ago. Actually, I don't think it was a Cabela one. It was, what was it? It was something like a big game. It was like the Big Game World Championship. I can't remember. Anyway. Yeah, DNS is super dead. I can't really fake it, guys. I'm sorry. I can't fake it. He's got 4 immortals in his main. GG! Papi moves on to the next round.